What's up?
Get your man.
Get your man.
All right.
Man's being whoever you think it needs to be. Get your mans. Welcome back. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Professor Zoom, the number is in the chat box next to the Streamlab element. And it's, I just typed it in too. 33 later RAM. Appreciate you for coming through. Rogue Pod. Cold, wet drive home. Yeah, it sucks too. One thing to be cold and wet with a dub. Now you got to deal with that after giving away a game. Lady Ram says, Coach, this team has a major problem. They don't play above. They play below to their standard. Well, to the person they're playing, right. Too inconsistent. Offensive plays are weak. And the coaching slacks. That's pretty much what we saw today. That's pretty much what we saw, while watching the game, that offensively, they weren't prepared. More turnovers. More losing in situational football is just things that you should be able to do, and our operation just looked bad. We just look bad. We look like an ill-prepared team for a football game in the rain, and it's been projected to rain up there. I think I was hearing about it since like Tuesday, so it's an ill-prepared team. That's what it was. Ill-prepared to handle the elements. Ill-prepared to handle with the defensive scheme. And to me, this was a total offensive letdown. Lamar Jackson rushed for 101 yards. I really hate when he leads us in rushing. Gus had 51 before he got out with the concussion. And then Drake came in with 32 carries, but that fumble by Drake changed the game. Not saying Drake's the reason we lost, but that fumble by Drake, they would have been down 14-0. They would have been down 14-0. Whole game plan different in their mindset because we down 14-0 early. And we just let that one fumble let us not really reset till like the third quarter offensively. It's a shame. It's a shame. We were 25 yards or so from having them down 14-0, and they might have quit. Let them hang around. And now, look at it. Next thing up. Hold on, let me see what's going on over here. Okay. Next thing on my mind, the Zay Flowers thing. I'm trying to get my stats back up here. All right, so John gave an explanation at the post-game presser as to why Zay Fair caught the ball instead of trying to run around and get them 3 seconds off the clock. He said that when the initial play was over with, it was under 2 minutes. And so they thought that the timeout that happened was the 2-minute warning timeout. And then the referees added more time to the clock, which puts it on the north side of 2-minute warning. And they didn't get it communicated to Zay that changed.
Stop the cap.
I ain't buying it. Not buying it at all. Total offensive letdown with bad situational football by the man in charge. Total offensive letdown, bad situational football by the man in charge. Just as if last year, the defense played well enough for us to win. The defense played well enough for us to win. So, all right, Zot, he just be chatting. Ashy Knuckles, it definitely looked like a Greg Roman called game. Don't Like can't say it's the elements. They played in the elements too. So you can't say it was the elements. It's and then from what like the people that were in the stream that were at the game, they pretty much said it stopped raining for a minute. When the offense was playing like crap, it wasn't raining. And Tucker, in my opinion, is still a GOAT, but you can't have him trying to bail you out every situation. Get him in better positions. We gave up a 100-yard runner. Zach Moss, 30 carries, 122 yards. Minshew was 27 for 44, 227 yards. Didn't give up a 100-yard receiver. Franklin, who was a menace all game long, which is number 44 for Indianapolis, was just certified menace. He had 15 tackles. Man, I look over here on our side. Lamar was 22 for 31, 202 yards. Zay had 10 targets, 8 catches. Defensively, PQ had 12 tackles. Roquan had 12 tackles. Kyle Hamilton had 12 tackles. Kyle Hamilton had 3 sacks, 11 tackles, and I'm almost for certain 2 TFLs. I'm wrong. That's not Kyle Hamilton with 11 tackles. That's Brandon Stevens with a lot of tackles. I wonder why. Not saying he played bad, but I wonder why. They just be throwing at that man. Kyle Hamilton had 9 tackles and 3 sacks. But let's get to the phone lines, man. Let's get it set up. I got it set up. Let me get this timer over here situated, because we want to make sure everybody get their just due off. Let me fire this up. Got this. Oh no, not 10 minutes. Let me change this time. Hold on. Then I'll be right with you. All right, we ready. First up. Think I got my man Will here. Will G, you got me?
What's good, Coach?
Not much. What you see?
Woo! I'm just gonna get the praise first. I watched the presser after Kyle Hamilton. Like, he's everything that I thought he was when people was like, was that a wasted pick? And I'm like, that dude is a taller Honey Badger 2.0. Like, if you start mixing schemes off his blitz and dropping him, I got a feeling he's gonna become a ball magnet, pretty much, kind of like thing.
Mm-hmm.
But and he knows football. Like, he gave credit to Clowney. He was like, Clowney did the unselfish thing. He took up the block. He was like, I'm the free rusher. Like, there's nobody blocking me. You know what I mean? I got to hit my layups. And he said, no, got to hit him, and he did. Second praise is to the foot of Stout and his targeting of putting the ball in between the goal line and the 5-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Backed up many times. Question, Coach.
Go ahead.
Duvernay is the punt returner, right?
Duvernay?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the punt returner, right? So
yes.
Why was Zay out there in that situation?
I'm not sure. Maybe Zay do have a little bit more juice than Duvernay. Duvernay got that straight line speed, and Zay got a little more shakes.
Yeah, in that situation, you don't need it. And the worst thing that happen is if Zay does some kind of dumb move, or a bad angle, that gets tackled, and then we lose our number one pretty much wide receiver threat.
Right.
So
that situation probably wasn't even thinking about like that. Probably just trying to get a dude back there to make a play so they can try to win that game.
Yeah. So the other two things is we found out Owe matters today, and we found out OBJ presence definitely matters today.
Mm-hmm.
Monken's offense concept, they didn't look like they were like the no answer to what his scheme was. Like, he still had plays that got the right guy open, and the Lamar miss on the Zay, the one he threw behind him. This was the one before the pass interference third down.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I think, that was the one where I started doing the anchor mad. I'm in a case of emotion type thing, pretty much, because I'm like, I didn't like it, because I'm like, this Colts kicker is pretty much automatic underneath 55 right now today. He's hot.
Yep.
So I'm just
think he made 4 of them.
Yeah, I'm like, we can't give this ball back to this man once it's, once you give that first possession away where you don't get the ball back if they kick the field goal or whatever. And last thing, Coach, check out the fantasy of our league when I'm playing you, and check out who is on my bench. I was just about to play him before I came on to watch the stream today and live, but I didn't play him because he's the number 2.
Was it A-Chain?
On the team on Miami.
That A-Chain? Yeah, A-Chain ran for 200 and something.
Like 70, 80 points.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, have a blessing, Coach. That's all.
You too. Appreciate it. My man Will G coming through with the first caller. Let's move on over to number 2. Move on number 2. Brave Kingdom, you up? What's good, my guy?
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah, I got you.
First of all, why do we have the greatest kicker of all time, and you are afraid to use him? What is the reason we're giving them all that money and we don't use them? Listen, Coach, listen. I know a lot of people's going to say, oh, my God, he missed the 60 yards. If you pay attention and look at the replay, it was pinpoint accuracy. He just accidentally forgot to put the power and oomph behind it. And you pumped the ball. Coach, listen to me, Coach. I am so mad with this team. This team said, you know what? The pressure is hot. The intensity, the walls is closing down. Let's go grab the book that's on the bookshelf that says Grow Greg Roman Plays and use them from the Coach.
They found one of the books he left.
Or the refs blind. He tackled Zay Flowers way before the ball. Everybody was in shock. The coach was in shock. Coach, listen, Coach, who the Colts coaching staff and the Ravens coaching staff think they are making jokes in the beginning of the game with the little substitutions and a little twist spot, field goal, fake the field goal, and then they're trying to have a little laughable argument on who has the better IQ. There's so many people who get money. People are getting jobs tomorrow. They're 9-5. People play fantasy football. They're paying $200,000 for your damn jersey, Coach. I apologize for being a little excited. I apologize. But who do you think you are? John Harbaugh and this coaching staff don't want to hear me give them an email, because the email would be so vicious about this game right now. I probably would have to do some jail time, because it's ridiculous. It's unacceptable, Coach. It's unacceptable, Coach. I know some people want to blame the team, but my God, tell me what play calls was that? I really was like, is Greg Roman on the sideline? Is Greg Roman on the sideline? What the hell is that? He was so stagnant and possessive. They was afraid to talk.
It's like the weather just zapped them. Like the rain zapped their game plan out of them, and they didn't have a backup. That's what I feel like. I feel like they knew it was gonna rain. It's been forecast to rain since like Tuesday up there. So they just looked ill prepared to me, because I'm sure the Colts didn't do anything but play their normal defense, and they just executed it better than us. We missed open receivers. We did have some funny play calls. That's why I blamed. And then you had the fumbles that weren't, even though Lamar fumbled them, they wasn't all his fault. He had guys in his face that shouldn't have been in his face. It just was a total cluster for the offense. A total cluster to the offense. The whole, from Harbaugh and everybody on that offensive side, it's a shame that they had to waste that effort by Kyle Hamilton and a freaking loss.
I'm going to say this before I have to go, because I know there are people waiting and there's people that's listening. I just want to say I'm sorry to all the people who paid season pass tickets, TV tickets, jerseys, put purple powder on your faces, blue powder on your for the Colts. Everything that you've done, all the money that you spent, all the prize picks that your fantasy football, whatever you've done, your predictions, all that. I just want to say, I from the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry because this. All right, Coach, I'm out. I'll see you later.
All right. You can't. I appreciate it. Animation. I like it. I like the passion. Animation and passion. I like it. He ain't wrong, y'all. He's not wrong at all. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Next up, what's up, my guy? How you doing today?
What's going on, Coach, man? I've been
know.
better, of course, but, all's well that ends well. It's not February just yet, so I ain't going to cry my panties into a bunch, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I took some notes in this game.
Go ahead.
A lot of mental notes. I took some actual notes. I thought we looked very good, open drive. Defense played well all 4 quarters in overtime. I can't ask my defense to pitch out a much better effort under the circumstances. It seemed like they was out there all game. Any defense play that long is going to get gassed out and give up some bend, but don't break yardage in the end. I think Harbaugh, as usual, has some flub-ups with clock and timeout management. Y'all spoke on it the last call. I don't get why if you put Zay out there just to fair catch the ball, like if you're going to put him out there, I want him to pick up some yardage. I mean, the main thing would be to move the clock under the 2 minutes and take away a timeout for him. But if I'm putting him out there to just fair catch it, I might as well leave Duvernay out there. I didn't get that at all.
100%. 100%.
I didn't get that one bit. So,
and he I don't know, had you called in when I told you what he said in the press conference?
I actually listened to the press conference right after the game, and I'm not buying it. It's crap.
Me too.
It's typical hardball. It's typical hardball, man. I swear, dude is not the coach everybody tries to make him out to be. But what do I know? I've only been involved in this game 35 plus years, Coach. Player, coach, student. You know what I'm saying? Talent recruiter, trainer. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna harp on that. The offensive line picked a very good day to have their worst performance early in the season. Mr. Linderbaum and Stanley really showed up today against a valid front seven. The Colts may not be that good of an all-around team, but their defensive front seven is always legit.
Mm-hmm.
And they really
anytime you keep Buckner on your team, you're gonna be a force.
Oh yeah,
Buckner and them 2 linebackers, Zaire Franklin and Leonard.
Yeah, they got a couple unsung guys too. That Ebubam guy,
man,
and
Quiddy Pay. And Quiddy Pay.
Man, they got some dogs over there. I got a couple friends that's Colts fans, and I said, because they was picking against their team, man, the Ravens gonna blow us up. I said, nah, bro, I really like y'all front seven. And in the game with weather and rain, even though teams have to play in it, that works against us because we want to throw the ball more. So it forced us to be the old Raiders, and it felt like this is a Greg Roman call game in a lot of spurts of the game.
Yes.
The defense, again, man, played very well. Stevens had a lot of tackles, but, guys are going to pick on him, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But he didn't really give up no yams today. We didn't really give up no big plays.
Right.
They ran the ball much well than we expected them to.
Zach
Moss looked very good against us today.
120.
Yeah, he ate in chunks today, too. Clowney had a play where he had him down, and he just spun out of the tackle and ended up picking up 6 or 7 yards when he still lost 5. The flag, the missed face mask on Zay really hurt us. The drop pass by Likely really hurt us.
I forgot about that.
Oh, man, the Likely drop really hurt me. That was the game right there. Gonna hit from there. That was 55 yards if you catch that ball from there.
Yep.
So, it's tough, man. But I'm not discouraged or encouraged by this loss. It's one of them trap games on the schedule, and you push forward to Cleveland. We got to get Monken in tune with protecting Lamar because the pressure is really starting to get to him. He looks well. He looks fine. He's perfect when he's not under pressure. I think he's going to have a complete pass in the second quarter.
Right. I know at one point he was 9 for 9 at one point.
Yeah. Like, the man is going I got a buddy that's a Ravens fan, and man, Lamar got to get better at going through his progressions and really making hot routes and audibles at the line. And, there's no way you can expect me to believe he's better than Burrow and Mahomes like you saying, but he ain't doing all this. Well, he does this if you actually watch the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not his fault the center is rolling the ball back to him. It's not his fault he's facing pressure at the gut every 2 or 3 snaps. It's not his fault guys are dropping the ball, when we need these big catches. It's not his fault Monken cannot get Rashad Bateman more involved. He had 1 catch for 6 yards. That's not a Bateman issue. That's a Monken issue. You got to get these guys in position to perform, man. We're sick of this.
Yep. Now, I mean, this is everybody. It's from Harbaugh down on that right side, and that right side being the offensive side. Harbaugh to Monken, Monken to Lamar to the O-line. The running backs for fumbling, receivers for not necessarily getting balls that they should get to, and nobody was perfect. Nobody.
Like you said, the King and Drake fumble really swayed the whole momentum of the game. We didn't allow a score after that, but it just took the air and the sails out of our offense for the rest of the day. We didn't wake up, like you said, to the middle of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So
we went from the good first 2 weeks showing. After that fumble, we went straight to Greg Roman mode.
Yep.
We went straight into Greg Roman mode.
It was like the ghost of Greg Roman visited the bank again today. So it was an eerie game to watch. It was like watching paint dry, you know what I'm saying? And we just looked stagnant all game. Defense had life all game. It's a shame we wasted Kyle Hamilton's performance and the defense as a whole. Like, shout out to Coach McDonald on D and the whole defensive unit, man. You guys did not deserve to lose today, but we're going to get them back in Cleveland. I ain't worried about too much of nothing. Just some things we got to patch up.
Gotcha. I appreciate you, my guy. We'll be talking to you soon.
All love, Coach.
All right, next up. We got stuff. Let's see. Get that one. Dog team, what's good?
What's good, Coach? How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Good to talk to you, man. Everything has already been said, man. I was watching with the stream with y'all, man.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was definitely a tough game to watch. It's one of those games where you can it got off to a great start. Offense is looking good. Like, it almost looked like what we thought it was going to look like, where there's no answer to the offense. And like I said, the Ken Drake fumble kind of just spiraled everything downhill after that. And really, this was the only way. Now, the Colts are a pretty good team. I really think they're going to battle for that division. If you look at Jacksonville, 1-2. The Colts are, Texans are 1-2. And the Titans, I think, are 1-2. So I think that division is going to be is going to be tougher. And the Colts, I think, might end up speaking in the playoffs. I wouldn't necessarily feel too bad about this game. And it just seemed like the Colts won the game the only way they could win it. I mean, they kicked 5 50-yard field goals.
Yep.
All the stuff that went bad with the offense, and I think the tough thing, and I hope this is not a repeat of 2021, is that it looks like the Ravens again cannot run the ball effectively outside of Lamar. It is showing. He had 100 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
If you take his yards out of the game, you can't run the football. And so essentially, when you got a team that can basically not necessarily worry about the run outside of Lamar, and you got guys that can actually rush the passer and don't have to worry about stopping the run, you get what you got. And on a lot of those balls where it looked like like he was throwing behind Zay a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have missed Mark one time. It was quick. What it was quick pressure up the middle. And as a play caller, you can deal with pressure on the outside. But if you get guys coming up the middle, you can't step up. You got to get rid of the ball. You see that color flashing, and you just you get what you got. But having said all this, as bad as the game went, if toughness the field goal, and if Isaiah Likely makes that catch,
yep,
the game is over. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't necessarily feel too bad about this game, man, because it just looked like, for whatever reason, this was just going to be a loss.
It was headed that way since that fumble.
It was like anything that could have went wrong. Missed face mask, missed pass interference. You know what I'm saying? Execution, anything you could think of, it just wasn't going to go right. It's frustrating, but I would get it all out now, put this loss behind, and be ready for Cleveland. I had the Browns game while I was watching on the side, man. I think the Browns got a better defense in the league. So hopefully, get a couple guys back on the offensive line, and hopefully OB can play this week. Because if not, you thought that pass rush for the Colts was bad today. Good luck trying to pass rush against Darius Smith and Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, yeah.
His boys are coming. And Deshaun Watson actually looked pretty good today too. So don't bury him just yet either, man. So just get this behind us. It's a bad loss. Of course, we never want to see him lose, but you know he wasn't gonna go 17-0.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they'll bounce back.
It was bound to happen at some point. I wanted them to go 3-0 because I don't think that Lamar's ever been 3-0.
Nah, he won't. But the thing is too. But one thing Lamar will do is once they get you definitely do want to win games like this when it's not going well, because you know eventually it's going to snowball. I mean, he's too good not to put it together. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get games like this, but it was like from like I said from the 2-minute warning thing that happened with Zay Flowers and not being able to run the clock out to the mid 61-yard field goal. It was like it wasn't one of the cards to win the game. You know what I'm saying? So
3 seconds on the clock cost us another hour and a half of football.
Yep.
Because at that point, it was the game had been on for 2 hours and 33 minutes. So had we get on the other side of that 2-minute warning, the game would probably been over with 5 minutes later.
But not only that, dude, you don't want to. I ain't gonna hold you. I know I've been talking a lot. You don't want to be playing overtime games when you down 7 starters.
Yep.
So that's another quarter of football. That's more hits. That's more chances for guys to get hurt. Now Bateman wasn't playing. He probably was on the pitch count. That's probably why they took his helmet away. But we don't know whether he's hurt or not. You know what I'm saying? And so the depth of receiver looks good when you got guys playing. But when you down, now you're talking about Justin Edwards might have a concussion. So your top 3 running backs out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Top 2 receivers might be out. Your top 2 offensive linemen are out. You know what I'm saying? That's just offensive line. Your top 2 top 2 corners are gone. Your top safety is gone. You know what I'm saying? So you can't afford. You got to put teams away. They didn't do it. They lost. Move on. Be ready for Cleveland next week.
Exactly. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You said a good bit of facts right there. We'll definitely move on. You too. Root. Last but not least, let me see. Let me do this. Let me load this.
The conference has been locked.
Last but not least. All right. What'd you see? What you have for me? What's your name?
What's up, Coach?
What's up now?
Hey, it's Big Rob from out VA, man.
Okay. I know.
Hey,
we saw some bad stuff today.
And I probably could have put this in the chat box, to be honest with you.
No, it's cool. Go ahead.
Hey, well, look, Coach, what I'm steaming about after watching the game, I don't understand why us as Ravens fans always have to suffer through inept coaching and a coaching staff and an organization that doesn't know how to field healthy running backs. For the life of me, I don't understand. I mean, Justice Hill coming off of ACL a couple years previous. Gus does not look healthy. I don't care what nobody says. Gus does not look healthy. J.K. obviously coming off a major injury. Every year we have to come through the same junk every single year. I mean, we can't run the ball. Lamar has to play hero ball. Anytime he rushes for over 100 yards, you already know he's going to make mistakes in the passing game.
Yep.
It's kind of like an ongoing theme, you know. And what I'm trying to figure out is, like, how do we get to the point where we just go ahead and say enough is enough with Harbaugh in this situational football? I mean, if you cannot coach situational football, then you shouldn't coach at all.
Yes.
I mean, that's like the first thing you learn when you're coaching is knowing the situation. I can't do it anymore. Like with him, I think we win in spite of him. He gets the team up, ready to play. He's more of a fan than a coach. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
I like the team. I like where we're going, but I don't know. What do you think?
I agree with you. He does a good job of motivating, and I'm saying motivate with air quotes, motivating the guys. But as far as in-game stuff, and you as a coach, you're not gonna get all of them right. But he to me, he's getting way more wrong than he should. Like they had that back and forth with the field goal thing. Like he didn't, and you ain't gonna know every rule, but he didn't know just when they substituted, because they did the second time. When they substituted, just right before he get ready to move, then you send your substitute in. That pulls more off the clock, and that's how we was able to get them with that delay of game. Because if you substitute, you gotta let us substitute. And by holding on to it, they saw the clock going down because of how late they substituted. And you gotta let us come on. And that's why I think Brick Urban just kind of half-ass just tried it out there because he knew they was waiting on the clock to go down. Because it's still delay of game on them. But he be on the losing end of too many little coaching things between the other coach. But I agree with when you said he more of a fan than a coach. That seemed right. And a couple people in the chat box like that too. He get the guys up. I guess he's well organized as far as practice and doing other things and whatnot and whatnot. But as far as the in game guy, he failing way more than he winning, and it's starting to show.
Absolutely,
it's starting to show.
It's the hiring of the friends, and that's all cool. Because I believe, I truly believe Monken has a really good offensive game plan. Mm-hmm. However, it wasn't apparent today. I don't like the ball distribution. I don't like the fact that we have an all-star quarterback and we're not pressing the ball. Now, weather permitting, obviously, because, it was raining today or whatever. But I just don't like the directions, the targets. Other teams seem to be able to target their receivers a much more frequent basis. Mm-hmm. We're not being able to target. Even the short passes don't even look like, Lamar drops back. And once he gets in this hero ball form, this I'm going to rush, I got to carry the whole rushing game on my back. Mm-hmm. He will not set in the pocket. If you pay attention to his body mechanics, he won't set and throw the ball. Like the pass across the middle to Zay, that is a routine throw in the NFL. You have to make that throw. You have to. You can see over the line. There's no real apparent rush. You just throw it in front of him. Throw it the way he's going instead of where he's at. I don't know.
I think at that point the rush done got to him, and his internal clock is speeding up, and he just don't hold his mechanics like he should. And which I understand, because after you can get pressured and get hit and whatnot, it's natural to be like, man, and he know he's a dog. It's natural for me to be like, all right, forget them. They ain't doing their job. I'm finna do it all. So that's a natural thing, but I don't think it fits us.
That's the mindset he falls into, and you can count on him to do that every time he runs.
So I agree with you.
All right, though, Coach. I didn't want to hold you up. Great show, but
I appreciate you.
Always watching.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you, big dog.
All right.
All right. Let's see. Let me close this one out.
Goodbye.
All right. So, with that being said, let me go back up here, because I don't know if y'all heard the timer go off. When the timer go off, that's when I lock it. All right. So, with that being said, I can't wait to. I think I'm gonna watch this one again, like after the Sunday night game, because I don't have work tomorrow. So after the Sunday night game, I think I'm gonna watch this again, broadcast view, and just try to count up the situational blunders, because it's gonna be tough to talk about situational blunders from the all 22, because they not the time and they don't show all that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I need to look at the stat book and see how were we on third downs. But this feels so much like last year, when the defense, toward the end of the year, the defense was balling their butt off, doing everything they can, fighting and clawing to keep the game close, and the offense don't help them out. We don't help them out. This feels exactly like last year. Defense scratching, clawing, being put in a bunch of different bad situations, and they win in the situations now. Because even though the Colts kicked 4 or 5 field goals, there were opportunities that they probably should have tried to get touchdowns, but the defense held on. Being put in bad situations, they held on, and for to blow that defensive effort is not championship football. Now the stuff still can get fixed. It's only week 3, so but you should never let games slip out of your realm, especially in the AFC this year with all the good teams in the AFC. It's gonna be tough, and we don't want to fall back to to the Browns, to the Bengals, to Pittsburgh. We don't want to fall back to them. We had the opportunity to get another game up on some of them guys. I don't know. I'm assuming the Browns won from what they was talking about earlier, but I don't know if Pittsburgh or what the other teams did. But we gotta play on a certain level. Rain, sleet, hail, snow. Because at some point the weather's gonna be bad in Baltimore. At some point. I've been to 2 games. The first one was soaking wet. The last one I went to, I got snowed in. So at some point, I've been to other games, but just not up there. But at some point, the weather's going to be bad, and they got to be prepared for it as professional football players. Especially a good team that's supposed to be a Super Bowl team. Super Bowl caliber team. So that's where I'm at with it, man. If you're watching on the recap, put your thoughts or whatnot in the comment section. And everybody that's in the chat box, man, I appreciate y'all. Let me see what we get with these likes so I can break y'all off. Okay, we got to do the 75. I'm gonna do the 75 likes while y'all still here. So don't leave till after you check your points. Exclamation point points. Let me get these in here. Hold on. I ain't got it yet. 75. All right. And one last note before we get out of here. We got a new merch alert. Not the one I got on. This is one of one. This is a quarter zip FTMF shirt. It's one of one. But got some new merch alert that I'll have on for the round table tomorrow. And we'll give you a little bit more details about that tomorrow. So I appreciate y'all, man. And you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Hopefully we get some video out early. And I get it to you when I see it, man. But you know who we got to talk about. You got to talk about the O-line. You got to talk about 8 Patreons. I'm gonna try to give you that full offensive video, and we might get a defensive video in depending on how the rest of the week go. But Patreons will get that full offensive video for an hour. And if you don't want to be a Patreon and be a part of that, when I go through pretty much every play for an hour straight, Patreon.com/Sip the Tally. Join up. So. With that being said, man, let's try to enjoy what's left of football because we stunk it up today. We wet the bed today, unfortunately. Round table tomorrow, definitely. Agent E, definitely. Golden rule, offensive line play was bad. It was definitely bad. Definitely.